using the Dropshot. The Dropshot is simply a hook which is attached to the line, followed by a special, it can be a special weight, a Dropshot weight, or you can just use any weight. I happen to be using a frozen minnow. You can also use plastic baits on it or worms on it. This is just a frozen minnow. The idea is that your weight sits on the bottom like this, and you don't hop the weight up and down on the bottom, but what you do is you use sort of a semi-slack movement on it. So the weight stays on the bottom and you're moving the hook up and down, and of course the minnow at that point in time is sitting in the water, floating in the water, and it looks very natural. And it's a great way to catch fish when they're being very subtle, and we'll see how it goes. I'm using 6-pound fluorocarbon on this, so it's pretty much invisible, and very sensitive as well. The fluorocarbon doesn't stretch, so you can feel each little tick that goes in there. So we'll just see how it's going to go. So with the Dropshot technique, you can use it just about any time. When the fish are feeding aggressively, it works. When they're not that aggressive and just being very finicky, this is the perfect technique to use for fish that aren't really actively feeding and you just want to be very stealthy with them. There we go. So take this drag here. When you only got 6-pound test line, you got to be pretty careful with the fish. And this is just a little guy. There you go. Nice Dropshot walleye. I'm using a bit of a nightcrawler here. I don't have my my minnows with me. There we go. Quick release. There we go. And just with a little piece of minnow on like that, I like to use the full, or piece of nightcrawler. I like to use the full nightcrawler, but just with a little piece of nightcrawler like that, my fishing partner one day caught himself a nice 28-inch walleye. So you don't need something big, you just need a little piece on there. So I have the weight just sitting on the bottom, not pulling the weight up and down off the bottom, just moving the rod a little bit. It moves that hook up and down and gives a little bit of action to either the worm or the minnow that you have on there. There we go. We got another one. This is a little rock bass. You'll also catch rock bass and perch and sauger and just about everything else on this as well. You can light into where there's some walleye. There you go. We have another one. This one feels a little bit better, but then I've got the drag set so loose. Try to tighten it up just a little bit. That's a nice one. And because I've just got 6-pound test line, I'm going to use that just to make sure I don't lose them. There we go, a nice Dropshot walleye.